Will answer engine optimization actually help sell you more cars, otherwise known as AEO? What's going on, everybody? David Feldman-Makrias back with you, and we're going to talk about how we believe that some of the things we've been doing in regards to AEO, answer engine optimization, otherwise known as GEO, generative engine optimization, AI marketing, whatever it is, AEO we're going with, answer engines, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Cloud, how we're doing some things on dealer websites right now that's actually generating more new car sales, and we're going to show you how. It's pretty interesting, it's pretty cool, and I think it's going to have humongous applicability on helping you sell more new cars inside your market, right? Used cars too. New cars is just the example. So let's check it out right now. So before we go into it though, what is AEO? AEO most commonly refers to as answer engine optimization, a strategy for optimizing content to be used in the direct answers of AI-powered search engines as opposed to traditional search results. It focuses on making content easily understandable for AI, prioritizing structured answers, clear formatting, and authoritative information to get cited directly. So here's the thing, right? We're moving into this AI world. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I use Gemini. I personally use Gemini because I'm a Google person. I use Gemini on a day-to-day basis about 100 times more than I use Google. I just don't use Google search anymore. And what, by Google, I mean like I'm looking at right now. I can't spell. Like, I don't use Google search. I don't even use the AI mode. I just go right to the Gemini app. And I bet you people go to the ChatGPT app a lot too. They actually do. How many people use ChatGPT today? And it is 800 million weekly active users and processes over 1 billion user queries a day. How does that compete with Google users? Let's see. 4.91 billion global users daily. Okay. 1 billion to 4 billion, it's 20%. And it's just going to keep growing. So, I mean, this is interesting. Nearly all ChatGPT users still rely on Google. Yeah, I get that. Like, common SEO is still important. But we're talking about AEO, right? And why AEO, answer engine optimization, or optimizing for ChatGPT, optimizing for Gemini, optimizing for optimizing for Perplexity, optimizing for Claude. Optimizing for those answer engines is going to be huge. And it's all based on one thing. Well, it's based on a lot of things. But one big thing, it's content. I'm going to call it content creation. Now, content can mean so many different things. It can mean written words on a blog page. It can mean videos that we're doing right now. It could mean, podcasts. It could mean just audio. It could mean anything that is created, that is housed somewhere to, put usually on a website or a digital platform that's going to attract people based on the information that it provides. It's really just providing information. So really, we're answering all the same questions. It's just what format, what places, and what are we doing to optimize for all these answer engines. All right, let's get into exactly what we're talking about with a case study. All right, so 3 Ford stores. We have lead data, internet lead data from September of 2025, October of 2024, and of course, October of 2025. Let's call this one Ford store number 1, Ford store number 2, Ford store number 3. These are all new car leads. Repeat, these are all new car leads and internet leads, okay? Now, nothing changed month to month, year to year as far as tactics, strategy, what have you. Number one allocation of spend is digital marketing wise, is Google at this point, right? Google search. So across all three stores. So check this out. I have this store highlighted in red, or not highlighted, but underlined in red. Why? The reason why is because, look at this, October 2025, 196 good leads. Compared to October of 2024, 114, and in September of 2025, 191. Look at that. Last year versus this year, we went up 82 leads. That's substantial. And guess what? This Ford store actually did the best in their area, increasing new car volume by a magnitude of 38%. Or actually greater than that. I'll double check that. But they increased their new car volume by 38%. Guess what? Inventory, pretty similar amongst all Ford stores. Pricing, pretty similar amongst all Ford stores. How did they do this? Well, something happened here. Something happened here. The thing that happened is they got more leads. Well, that makes sense, David, because guess what? If you want to sell more new cars, you need to get what? More new leads. And these are good leads. These aren't bads. These aren't dupes. These aren't whatever. We extract all that in this pivot table report that we pull custom from the CRM. If you'd like to know how to do that, let me know. But this is the kind of service that we do for our clients because that's what makes a difference. And this is what is making the difference and made it. So 80 more new internet leads. We stole from not only the other Ford stores that we handle, but we also stole from all of our competitors, leading us to be the top performer in the area, actually in the state. So, why did this happen? Check this out. Let's continue the story. This is, well, David, if we're talking about content, we're talking about AEO, and we're talking about all this stuff, why did this happen? What are we looking at? This is Google Ads. Why are we looking at Google Ads? That's got nothing to do with content. That's got nothing to do with website optimization. That's got nothing to do with anything. What are you talking about, man? Let me show you. So, Ford store number 1, Ford store number 2, Ford store number 3. The biggest increase was Ford store number 2. The biggest decrease was Ford store number 1 was the biggest decrease, right? Why did this happen? Now, it's quite interesting that before I do that, like they trade off in leads, especially with inventory and things like that, because sometimes you can't make a market. The market's going to be what the market's going to be, We're going to sell between 15 and 16 million new Fords. I'm sorry, not new Fords, new cars. And with that, it's hard to make the market. But how do you increase your piece of the pie? How do certain stores excel above that, right? So, check this out. These two campaigns, they are two campaigns from Ford store number 1. This campaign down here is Ford store number 2. This campaign is Ford store number 3. So a little bit out of order, but I want to show you what I'm talking about because this is October 2025 data, and this leads into an interesting point. What happened? Impressions, 110,000-ish impressions on Ford store number 1, campaign number 1. 153,000 impressions on Ford store number 1, campaign number 2. 190,000 impressions on Ford store number 3, and then 145,000-ish impressions on Ford store number 2. Not really a big difference there. All right, what do we see in interactions? What's an interaction? It is a click. A click, okay? So 1,300 campaigns. 1,300 clicks plus 1,300 clicks is 2,600 clicks, right? Math rough. So that's equating to Ford store number 1. Ford store number 3 is in the middle. Remember, it's in the middle here. 1,100 clicks. Not that many. But Ford store number 2, okay, that's this one. Ford store number 2 had almost 4,500 clicks. Well, David, did you spend more money? Did it have more cars? Did it have this? Did it have that? Let me tell you. Well, you're about to see about the money part. It didn't have any more units to show. It didn't have any different pricing. It didn't have any of that. So what do we see? Let's go to interaction rate, which is like click-through rate, right? Interaction rate, 1.2% for campaign number one, Ford store number one, campaign number one. 0.88% for Ford store number one, campaign number two. And then 0.59% for Ford store number three. Not that great. But then you get to good old Ford store number two. 3.1%. That is triple the next best, near triple the next best campaign. Let's look at average cost. Average cost, Ford store number one, campaign number one, $1.20. Average cost, Ford store number one, campaign number two, 68 cents. Okay. Average cost, Ford store number three, $1.08. Then you look at the average cost for Ford store number two, our case study winner, 37 cents. 50%, near 50% less average cost than the next closest, cheapest average cost per click campaign. So it's spending more efficiently. That's what this means. Here, Ford store number one had a combined spend of $2,600. Ford store number three had a $1,200 spend, where Ford store number two had a $1,600 spend. So get this, we had a lot more clicks for a lot less money. And we had a better click-through rate for a lot less money. Why did this happen? Sometimes this happens because Google recognizes websites to be better performing for some reason, either more relevant, more this, more that. And let me tell you, all same website provider, all similar inventory, all similar type of ad budget, all showing all showing like the similar types of inventory, similar types of pricing, and showing cross models because it's a group, right? Why did Ford store number two do so much better for internet leads? Why did Ford store number two buy so much more efficiently? You see where I'm going with this? Something is fundamentally different if they all use the same CMS provider, the same inventory, similar pricing, and similar ad spend, and similar targeting. What the heck is the difference? And how did one store propel and essentially steal clicks and leads from the other stores? And not only these stores, because they're in the same group, but it stole it from other stores in the market, propelling it to number one in the area. Big deal. How'd we do it? Well, here's what we know. Let's look at Google Search Console. This is Google Search Console for Ford store number one. Notice past 3 months, total impressions took a dive in September, and then it kind of flatlined, and we're maintaining. Ford store number three, 137,000 impressions last 3 months. Again, let me remind everybody, Google Search Console essentially but gives data about how a website and all the pages are ranking within Google. One more time. Google Search Console tells you data and indicates how websites are ranking within Google. Okay? Last 3 months, 137,000 impressions. You see this same decline in September. Okay? Notice anything different about this graph? Last 3 months, Ford store number two, 308,000 impressions. Notice that in September, you had a decline, right? You went from this 3,000 range down. But what happened after September? Once we hit September, that second week, we started to take off. Okay? We started to take off. Now, skeptics may go, well, maybe you put some national ranking search pages up there. Maybe you did something crazy to the website. Maybe there's something inflating the metrics. Maybe it's just one page. It's not. It's actually not. It's actually a compilation of about 30 written content pieces on the website. But they're a little bit different than your normal written SEO pages or model landing pages. They're a little bit different. We're doing things a little bit deeper, a little bit different, and we're testing and playing in the sandbox. And guess what? Not only were we able to do this, we started this in August. So some of our pages, rather than taking weeks and months, are actually getting ranking in days. So cool. So cool. When you do it right, this is the potential of what can happen. It's pretty dang cool. So again, Ford store number 2. Recap. What did we do different? The only marketing thing that we did different. The only marketing thing that we did different was we tested some content. And not just any old content, AEO content. Guess what? Did it in August, gave us a boost in impressions big time, and it's still on the rise. More than the other stores. Our Google ads got cheaper and better at the same time because of it. That led to more leads year over year, and even compared to last month. And that led to more new car sales. That's the formula. You got to do things different. You got to make the difference. That's why we are digital difference makers. And we're going to continue to showcase some stuff we're doing with AEO because guess what? It's going to be a $1 trillion industry in the next decade. You got to prepare your stores. You got to adjust your marketing. Most companies, vendors, whatever, they'll talk about AI, AIO, AEO, whatever, until they're blue in the face. But who's actually going to make the difference? Who's going to know how to leverage all the artificial intelligence platforms to make a real difference? We're on the cusp. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm excited. And we're going to keep going. This is the case study, David Feldman-Makrias. And guess what? We'll talk to you next time.